Welcome back if you've been joining me for all the live streams this week. And welcome for the first time if this is your first time on one of these mini webinars. It's lovely to have you on board, and whether you're watching live or watching on replay, you are most welcome, and I hope you find this content useful. I'm just going to turn off the volume. And yep, we seem to be live both on LinkedIn and on YouTube, so that's amazing. I'm very impressed with my own technical skills this week. So this is day 4 in a 5-day series of mini webinars on dealing with covert narcissism. Just a recap if you are new. So Monday, day 1, we looked at the traits of a covert narcissist. On day 2, which was Tuesday of this week, we looked at the typical traits of somebody who may magnetically attract a covert narcissist into their world. Yesterday, Wednesday, was day 3, and I shared my first strategy to help you move through this relationship. And that strategy, you can learn more about it by going and watching the replay, but in brief, it was all about educating yourself, getting as much information as you possibly can about covert narcissism, so that you can take the appropriate action. But replays are available for all of the sessions that I've done. So whether you're on LinkedIn or on YouTube, just go to my profile or to my channel, and you can access those replays totally free, of course. I would love for you to connect with me on LinkedIn and or YouTube if we're not already connected. So do follow me on LinkedIn and reach out, send me a connection request, and on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. And if you enjoy this content, don't forget to give the videos a like, because it all helps get the word out and enables more people to see this sort of free content that can be really transformational in helping somebody through a very difficult time in their lives. So if we haven't met before, very quickly, I'm Amanda Craven. I've been a clinical hypnotherapist and life coach for just over 8 years now. I specialise in helping leaders, entrepreneurs and professionals break free from different types of trauma. That could be emotional trauma, such as the trauma from a narcissistic relationship. It could also be childhood trauma and the fallout from that, or any form of complex trauma, which is trauma that has happened over an extended period. So today we are looking at strategy 2 that is going to help you move forward, and in the majority of cases this means moving out of, away from this narcissistic relationship. And this strategy is all about creating team you. Creating a team, a support network that are going to help you through this time and will continue to support you and be there for you in the future as you begin your exciting new chapter where you are free from this abusive relationship. So being in a narcissistic relationship can be isolating in so many ways. It can be emotionally isolating because of the confusion that is caused in the behaviour, and because of that dual personality that I mentioned a couple of days ago, which is where the covert narcissist behaves in one way to the outside world, and everybody else, including your family most probably, see them as a pillar of the community, somebody who is trustworthy, kind, helpful, funny, charming, all the positives you can think of. But behind closed doors, in the intimacy of your relationship, they are very, very different. And just that dual personality can mean that you are hesitant to talk to other people because you think that no one else is going to believe what this person is really like deep down. And so quite often we keep it to ourselves, and we then find ourselves taking actions to just keep the peace, walking on eggshells, so that we can just manage it and keep things as stable as possible, as okay as possible. So we can feel emotionally isolated. But where there is extreme coercive behaviour, we can also feel and find ourselves physically isolated. Because of this coercive behaviour, we may have found that we have cut ties with previous friends, even with family members, and this can be part of that controlling behavior of the narcissist that cuts those ties or encourages us to cut them, so that we actually don't have a support network. We don't have people who previously would have we would have trusted, they would have trusted us, and we knew each other really well. But now there is some sort of rift or some sort of distance. So you can really feel that you are alone, but you're not alone, and you don't need to feel that you are. And I'm going to talk you through some different ways that you can begin to create your team that is going to help you feel supported and empowered. Because again, as I mentioned earlier on in the week, we can feel really disempowered during a relationship, a narcissistic relationship. Even if you are normally a very strong person, the relationship can really drain that confidence. But by rebuilding a team around you, you can give yourself that confidence and that belief in yourself that you can actually take action and you can do things that are going to make your life better. So other things that may keep you isolated and stop you reaching out can be your self-doubt, thinking that no one believes you. The low self-esteem that has resulted from a toxic relationship can also impact on that. And as I just mentioned, you might feel that you are not strong enough to take action and to get out of the relationship. But I can assure you that you do have the strength to do that. That strength is inside of you. You just need to take some small actions at first to tap into your inner strength, and you have got this. So the first thing that you can start to do is just to reach out to people. You can try and reconnect with family members and friends. Find people who you trust and who, if possible, you go back a long way, so they trust you, they know you, and they are going to believe you. And maybe just reach out in a very small way, invite them for coffee, or reconnect on a social media platform and drop a couple of messages, check in with them, and just gradually rebuild that connection. You can also look out for a colleague who you believe could be empathetic, understanding of your situation. And again, if it's somebody who you've maybe seen from a distance, you can just start making small steps towards getting to know them a little bit better until you feel that the relationship is such that you can share some of the stuff that's going on. So you might have to do it in steps if you have been very isolated and keeping all this abuse to yourself, but you can do it in this way. Of course, friends can be friends that you know physically who are local to you, but you can also reach out to friends on social media. And on social media, there are a lot of different support groups. So having a look for support groups, whether you're on Facebook or Instagram or another platform, you can do that, or just use your search engine to look for support groups for people who are in narcissistic relationships or people who are recovering from narcissistic abuse. You will be able to find groups that are either geographically near you or that you feel comfortable in online, and join there. And there you will be surrounded by people who get you, who believe you. I have a community myself, and if you would like to join my community, you can get in touch with me via private message on LinkedIn or on YouTube. And that is something that I can offer you. I also do a variety of free and paid programs that might be for mini groups of people, that might be much bigger, but you will have access to other like-minded people. So that can be invaluable, and get in touch with me if that's something you'd like to take further. You could also reach out to a therapist or a coach for one-to-one support. And you can do that privately. You may be able to do that through your doctor or through your GP in the UK. So that's another form of support that you can access. You may need to reach out to a lawyer, or just have one of those. Quite often you can get a free consultation just to test the water, or just book a one-off fact-finding appointment to find out where you stand, and to just add another person to your team so that you don't feel so alone. So a lawyer could be a very useful addition to your team, as can an accountant or some sort of financial advisor. So these are different groups of people who you can reach out to and start to build Team You, which straight away, even when you've just got one person in your court, you will feel a whole lot different. You will feel that you are not alone, and that's really important. That will bolster your confidence. Next, through some of these contacts and through your own research on the internet, you need to start finding out some practical information, whether your narcissistic relationship is a romantic relationship or a relationship with a sibling or a parent. You need to be armed with some practical information to know where you stand. So you will need to find out where you stand financially. If you were to leave a spouse or a partner, what support there may be, what you may be entitled to. And that's really important, because as well as feeling emotionally strong, we need to know that we can practically stand on our own 2 feet. If the abuse in your relationship is intolerable and you are in some sort of danger, then you need to reach out to organisations that can signpost you to a refuge, to some sort of safe space where you, your children, if you have them, can go and be safe and work out your next steps from there. You need to know where you stand legally if you are to leave the family home, for example, and think about the children as well, any children that are in the marriage or the relationship that involves the narcissist. You need to know in general what your accommodation options are, and so the previous fact-finding missions will help with that. And also you need to know how other people have managed. So by joining the support groups, the online support groups, and by following yesterday's tip of educating yourself, watching and listening and reading up on narcissistic behaviours and other people's experiences, you can pick up tips and you can see what has worked for other people, what hasn't worked, and be armed with extra information in that vein. One key thing, if you are still in the relationship with the covert narcissist, is to keep your plans, your information, your team, your network to yourself. Do not share anything with the narcissist. As we saw earlier on in the week, it's really important also not to call them out, not to let them know that you have identified who they are or what they are. They, as we know, do not react well to any form of criticism, and this would be taken as the ultimate criticism, and it can do one of two things. It can trigger an explosive reaction. It can create an atmosphere of retaliation, and then they can start putting practical obstacles in your way. So play your cards close to your chest, don't call them out, and don't share your plans. But I hope these tips have given you some pointers and some hope that you are not alone. There are many people, sadly far too many people out there who are going through the same sort of abusive relationship, feeling trapped, feeling isolated. And by creating this team for yourself, you are going to get yourself 1, 2, and eventually many steps closer to breaking free and living the life you truly deserve. So that's our second strategy: create team you. I'd love for you to share any of your experiences, any strategies that have worked for you. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and ask those questions. And if you'd like to get involved in my own community and feel supported in that way, then do reach out to me and I will send you all the links that you need. There are additionally links below in the description below the video. So yeah, keep in touch, get in touch, take really good care, and join me tomorrow, which is day 5 of this mini webinar series, where I'll be sharing strategy number 3 to help you on your way. Bye for now.